Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening. I'm your host Julio and my co-host Robert Barbosa. Robert, how you doing, my brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. A little bit under the weather, but I'm trying to push through it, man. I'm pushing through it, but I'm getting there, man. This Dayquil is kicking in. I'll tell you that much.
I know.
Oh,
I'm glad you're doing good. Yesterday you look a little rough. Today you're looking way better. So hopefully by tomorrow you'll be 100% up and running. Get it in because man, we have a jam-packed program as always. We appreciate your visit here. Before we get started, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, Robert, please read our first Bible verse before we get started. Go ahead, Robert.
may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Romans
Amen.
15:13.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for that. And for you guys, God bless everyone. Let's get started, Robert. We have a crazy, crazy, crazy day. We know now that the FBI just subpoena Tim Waltz and some people of his cabinet today. So this is going crazy now in the airwave. Let's play a video of a just to give you a hint of what's happening. Take a look.
We have just heard the FBI has apparently just served subpoenas to several officials here in Minneapolis, including members of the office of Governor Tim Waltz. We will bring you more information as we get it on those subpoenas. Meantime, the number of protesters out here at the federal building is diminishing every day, it seems, but the war of words between local officials and the Trump.
So that man, that's a that's a bombshell right there into itself because that means when you get subpoena, that means an actual active investigation is happening. So they getting their ducks in order. You know how the FBI or any federal agency as justice, yeah, the Department of Justice for the federal, it is very, very keen of getting their stuff right and not making a mistake. So I say Team Walls, man, he's in deep trouble.
Well, I
With,
hope
with
so. I hope so because I've been saying it and I'm gonna still say it. Tim Waltz needs to go to jail. He needs to go to jail. He basically implicated himself, and I guess later on the show or even after the show, I'm gonna make a clip where it shows the PBD podcast. They did a very good job. I think it was day 2 after Nick Shirley dropped um, all these videos. I think it was the day of before Christmas or after Christmas. I forgot.
Mhm.
But they called the number that was on the website. They even showed the number, and it went to Tim Walt's um, campaign phone number.
Office,
So
yeah,
yeah, he's implicated himself. He needs to go to jail. I mean, that is like seriously. Nick Shirley gave him his head in a platter because yeah, he needs to go to jail.
yeah. No question about it. Nick Shirley, a 23-year-old man, young adult, literally, he cleaned out the entire political apparatus in Minnesota all by
Yep.
himself with
Yep.
one post and his friend and psychic David, he brings the receipt. Not only he just find out about it, David has been investigating and basically, giving the uh, alerting the agencies about the fraud has been committed for years. It's not like this is happening like a couple months ago. This has been happening for decades. Decades. They've been saying that they smuggle out like $700 million in cash out of the Minnesota airport or Minneapolis International Airport, which is crazy to me because if you have to declare that type of money, you have to declare if you have above $10,000 in cash, you have to declare that money. But how you gonna how do you gonna let me find the word when you have, let's say you have $500,000 in the luggage and they open it up, how you gonna justify having $500,000 in cash right there, like bands of it, like bricks? How you gonna justify that? Like, do you have to file a paperwork? Do you have to justify showing like, hey, I just sold my house, or I just sold my car collection, and this is the receipt and for the money?
Well, no,
No.
there's procedures. I've had a relative who had some, let's say, close to that figure where they had to fly in the plane,
Hmm.
and there's a procedure that you have to do. And yes, you have to have receipts. You have to show where this money came from and why you're trying to bring it into cash. And you know, there's people out there, well, they just don't trust the bank system, and they old school people think that, hey, if I put it in the bank, it's not going to be in the same bank, and it is. But whatever,
Yeah,
besides that though, but these guys had no receipts. What do you do? You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
wasn't it $700,000?
$700 million.
$1 million? Ay, caramba.
$700 million have been smuggled throughout the years, and they've been saying this. They are saying they were seeing like millions of dollars, half a mil, 300,000 here, 800,000 there, going through TSA every other day or every week from Minneapolis to Somalia. Like,
Now, now that's American taxpayer money, guys. I mean, that is our dollars. You ever think you ever go to work and you're frustrated? You're just like, well, and it's not so much. No, yeah, it is our federal money because federal
mhm,
subsidies. So yeah,
that's
that's
our
our
money.
paychecks. Yeah, that's our paychecks that they take
That's your
away.
money, my wife's money. This is your the viewers' money. They're just getting, they just scam. And what's bothered me is they came over here and somebody gave him the help
Yeah.
to do that, because this is a lot. What they have done is very elaborated fraud scheme. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It is somebody in the know, so have to be in the know, just to like, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that, fill out this paperwork. This is how you structure the deal. This is how you structure the companies so you can get this money and don't worry
And
about it.
and
Somebody have to approve it.
yeah,
So
and somebody there is not the Somalians. You can tell the Somalians are just the fall guys because
yeah.
look how they didn't even have children in those facilities. So they thought they were being smart. The person that's being smart, which I think, and again, this is my opinion, I'm not
it's
saying anything, but
it's
Tim
pulling the
Walz
string.
is pulling the strings on this.
Yeah.
And hence why he convinced Kamala Harris to have him as a VP,
Bingo.
because guess what? He wanted to do this throughout the whole nation. He wasn't trying, his being greedy. He wasn't even like, he could have just shut up, not said anything, stay behind the scenes and get this money. But instead, he wanted to make it nationwide, and what, more money is just, I don't know.
And I'm telling you, I'm over here speculating. This is my opinion. I'm just speculating. Listen to this, and I haven't heard nobody saying this, but this is came to my mind early this morning. I was thinking about the same thing you were saying. Like, okay, Kamala, once she announced the Team Walls was his VP, 24 hours later they got $34 million, right?
Yeah,
My
record
thinking is,
breaker.
yeah, it's record breaking. My thinking was, hmm, I figure they all got together with a lot of the investors, sell them the dream of like, hey, we are doing this. So if you give us money, we're gonna probably 5x your money once we win and we get the scheme going nationwide. That's why they raised almost, well, past $1 billion for the first time in history,
Yep.
because a lot of people were banking on them winning the election, but they couldn't. And this is proven by Lindy Lee, the actual campaign manager. She's turned to basically Republican, and she spilled the beans all over the news. I don't know if you remember her, Lindy Lee, and she said the whole scheme. A lot of people were hanged to dry because they couldn't repay their money back.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Team Walls sold the dream to everyone to donate for their campaign, and that's why they have $1 billion. And they were supposed to win, they couldn't, so they couldn't pay that money back, and that's
And just
why they were in debt like overnight.
and and just to think, we're just talking about the children learning center. We're just talking about daycares. There's more. They
There's
found
healthcare,
there's health cares,
hospice.
yeah, hospice. There's even a chauffeur company where they pick
Oh
you
yes,
up. Remember
yeah,
the
yeah.
cars?
They take you to your
Okay,
appointments and all that stuff. Yeah,
so how are these all government subsidized? I don't know, but they are. And then two, that's just Minnesota. We're not talking about California, where we know there's
they got the
hundreds of
homeless.
frauds there.
They got
Yeah,
the homeless fraud, and then you have Cincinnati, Ohio. You have Connecticut. You got
at New
Virginia.
York, man,
Maine.
you got even in my city, Conroe, like
Oh yeah,
all these major cities have corruption in it, and all these major cities are left wing Democrats. I'm gonna say that because they are.
yeah. I have another video, basically validating what are we saying, and this has come from the investigation inside the Minnesota Treasury Department. Just take a look at this video.
This was definitely the most egregious thing I have seen, maybe in my whole time working at OLA.
Office of the Legislative Auditor released a damning report finding state employees fabricating records to cover up mismanagement of money, tax money. It's another black eye for the State Department of Human Services.
27 years with the Office of the Legislative Auditor, a statement like that from Judy Randall means something. After past suspicions, she says her most recent audit proved state workers were fabricating documents to cover up mismanagement of taxpayer money.
So these documents should exist. They didn't. We asked for them. All of a sudden, they now exist. And in at least one case, it was created wholesale and backdated by 2 years to give the impression that it had always been there and been done on time.
The OLA audited the Behavioral Health Administration within the Department of Human Services, which issues grants, nearly $200 million of taxpayer money each year, to addiction and mental health service providers. But the audit found BHA was not making sure those providers were doing the work.
BHA didn't conduct the site visits. Our auditors went and conducted the site visits that BHA should have done. And we identified serious concerns that services weren't being provided.
One of the grants examined by OLA was $1.6 million issued to the Wellness Collaborative through Zion Baptist Church in North Minneapolis. According to the OLA report, BHA didn't have documentation to give auditors to show that the services were rendered. What's more, the audit says the grant manager directly profited by leaving BHA and months later providing consulting services to the Wellness Collaborative for the grant she managed, which Randall says is not illegal.
But I think it raises a bunch of ethical questions at the very least.
Representatives at Zion strongly dispute what BHA and DHS told the auditors. They tell KARE 11 DHS sought them out for the grant. They provided services which DHS workers witnessed. They gave DHS documentation, and they say now they believe they're being scapegoated. The former grant manager told KARE 11 any wrongdoing falls squarely
As we have
on
just
DHS.
heard, the FBI
Conduct
has
a
apparently just
monitoring
served.
visit to make sure the services are actually being provided. These aren't rocket science types of things.
Perhaps most frustrating, this was the second audit of the Behavioral Health Administration, and many of the problems found were repeat problems.
What is it like to see these problems, make these recommendations, and nothing is done to fix it?
It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Governor Tim Walz's office says they're grateful for the auditor for her work and for identifying these serious issues. And Democratic Senator Melissa Wickland, who chairs the Health and Human Services Committee, says that it's clear that DHS has not taken actions to fix these problems as they had portrayed to the.
Yeah, these people. This was back in Biden days, which
Yeah,
is
that-
crazy.
Yeah,
Imagine
that was,
DHS and the governor of Tinwal, like they were all together in that. Oh my god,
they were all together. This is a proof that this has been happening forever. He has done nothing. He's been intimidating people, but now all those people that he has intimidated in the past has come forward to the FBI, dropped their statements, and now the subpoenas has been served as of today. So I can't wait for this event to unravel and actually everybody see what's going on, because the taxpayers in Minnesota and all around the country, they need the answer, because that's everybody's money. You know what I mean? This is everybody's money. So, and it's a lot of money. And you see how they bamboozle and how they play and how they move to once you like, and they're using the same playbook. Once you pinpoint and see, hey, this is where the fraud is happening. Oh, now they're getting upset because they are using them as a scapegoat. Now they're getting upset because, oh, you single me out. The same thing the Somalis are doing. Like they mad at Nick Shirley exposing them. That's what they mad about.
Yeah,
Not
no.
because they defrauding the people. They mad about because they got caught doing it. That's all.
And exactly, that's exactly that's exactly it. They're just mad that they finally they got caught, and their piggy bank is, or their cow that they're milking, which is
Right.
us, is they can't milk it no more. The farmer found out. So guess what? They can't keep stealing from us. So they're upset. And it's just crazy how brainwashed you people on the left are, because this is something that you guys always chant, that you guys don't trust the government. And then here's a proof of a Republican joining your side, showing the corruption. And you'd think this would be a moment of unity, but instead you're now for the government, and now you're against the Republicans for finding the fraud. Like, make it make sense. And I just think that is a classic case of being brainwashed. You're just not seeing the picture. You're not stepping back and seeing the optics. Hindsight 2020. They just don't do that.
No, it's crazy. I got one more video to show you on this topic, and then we move to the next subject, which is the border, and also Donald Trump making some comments on Ilan Omar. But let's jump to the next segment.
So the big news that we got in the last 24 hours is that Tom Emmer, the number 3 member of the House, Republican leadership, he has confirmed on the record that congressional investigators are now have Minnesota state employees. We've known that there were these whistleblowers, these state legislators were talking to them. They've now become federal and congressional whistleblowers, and they're signing affidavits. And what Tom Emmer says is in the affidavits is people saying, I personally talked to the governor and his staff, Governor Tim Walz and his staff, and I told them about this fraud, told them it needed to be stopped, and they did nothing. They looked the other way. That is very significant. Now, Tom Emmer said, I think that's enough to bring criminal charges and to put the man in cuffs. Now, that is a very significant moment, because Congress will take that testimony. It will make a criminal referral. And there is a U.S. attorney out in Minnesota, no glitz, no glamour, but they are rolling up indictments, and they mean business. And it is very likely that Tim Walz will not only be hauled before Congress, but this evidence, if referred from Congress to the U.S. attorney and the Justice Department, could result in Tim Walz becoming a subject or a target of the investigation. That's certainly what Tom Emmer thinks. Meanwhile, we're seeing the flow of money. It wasn't just Minnesota. So last week we talked about this, Steve. $700 million in suitcases flies out of Minnesota, often headed to either Amsterdam or Amsterdam to Dubai. It was a foreign.
There we go. You have it right there. That's the case, and man, we need to follow that trail. We need to follow where the money went, and probably right now it's too late because it's been happening for years, and we've been subsidizing the country of Somalia for years. You know what I mean? It's been happening. It's not new. Now we're finding out about it. Like always, we always find out at the very end. We are to find that we've been defrauded, and that sucks. And but as always, from the get go, when Donald Trump took over and start fixing the house and start cleaning up the mess and start rearranging our financial and I would say political mess that they left behind, now they get mad. You know what I mean? It is just insane. Why they get mad when we find out, hey, there is a fraud going on and we stop it. We save the country billions upon billions of dollars throughout 1 year because today is 1 year of Donald Trump uh, presidency, and he saved billions of dollars, and we gained billions of dollars of tariff and all the stuff that we cut out, and they get mad about it. Why they get mad? Why?
That's the thing. This is where I kind of lean on to the belief that a lot of these people that you see protesting aren't real people. They're just there because, I mean, yeah, they probably believe some of the cause, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't believe all of it. I mean, you remember that clip a you made a reaction video where you had this white woman screaming at the bell horn, and you got Elon Omar right there, like just she wasn't comfortable there. She wasn't really buying this chance, and I have a feeling that a lot of them are like that. So all these little people making these loud noises is not really reflecting of what the majority of the American people are saying. And when we actually look at that, I think, because again, we can say we're in an echo chamber here and there, but on our daily lives, if you talk to interact with regular citizens,
Mm-hmm.
you get more of people that are like us. And you know who engages more to people on the streets? There's this, you might know the guy. We have him here in the show before. He's an awesome patriot who goes on the streets and interacts with all these people and these loonies that we're talking about. Like, how are they not, how are they still? The guy found fraud. Nick Shirley found fraud, and these people are that brainwashed. But again, they're the minority. But I don't know. The one that talks to them the most out in the streets, Julio, I'll give you the honors for that.
Yeah, his name is Ada Francisco, and we have him here for a few minutes. But let's talk. Let's bring him over here, man. He's a great guy, and I'm so glad that he is back on the streets, full force, no question asked, unapologetic, and bringing the heat. Adam, how you doing, brother?
Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you again.
Hey, good to see you, brother. Man, you've been going crazy, man. Since you have the
Working.
new kidney, it's like, hey, I'm going crazy on this leftist, and you are, man, you're all over the place, man. So, tell me your reaction on these leftist lunatics believing that Donald Trump is a fascist, because that's the most outrageous claim I ever heard in my life. But I want you to tell us in your experience on the streets how it is, because a lot of people do not know this the stuff that you know.
So the one thing that I always support is free speech. I support anybody, even if you're against ICE, even if you hate Donald Trump. I support your right to go out on the street in the public forum and express those opinions. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to cover your signs or block your signs. I might interview you or put you on camera and make you look foolish, but if anything, that's amplifying your message. That's not censoring it. What I've experienced at these protests is censorship of our ideas and of our message. And the example is, as you guys know, that clip of me just went viral where I was shouting in the megaphone. The part that you didn't see in those videos, we actually brought signs of American women that were killed by illegal immigrants, including Laken Riley, Jocelyn Nungary, Melody Waldecker, and Rachel Morin. Some of these women were moms. Some of these were girls, 12-year-old girls raped and killed. And we all know Laken Riley, she was hit over the head with a rock and struggled for 20 minutes before she was ultimately killed. So we had these signs, and we just wanted the Democrat anti-ICE protesters to say their names, to honor these women. They had signs for Renee Good. They had no problem saying Renee Good, but they would not say any of these women's names. Now, the part that was fascist is, I believe, a part of fascism is censorship of ideas, only aligning with the party narrative. The Democrats do a really good job of aligning with the mainstream narrative. And so when we were holding up the signs of all of these dead American women, what were they doing? They weren't letting us show our message. They weren't letting us have our free speech. They were trying to cover our message with their signs. They were blasting megaphones in our ears. They were blowing whistles in our faces. They were playing music to try to get our videos copyright striked so that YouTube would either demonetize us or ultimately take the video down. So when you want to talk about who's behaving like the fascists, that is fascism. And even our mere presence alone, what do? They go over to the police. They don't belong here. They're not part of our protest. So they're trying to call the police to do their dirty work, or they're using megaphone whistles and signs to block our message. Those are two examples of fascism that happened at these protests.
And see, that's funny. They went to the police. That's the same equivalent to, Mandani being asked, hey, is Trump a fascist? Do you believe he's a fascist? In front of Trump. And what did Trump say? Go ahead, say it. So, I mean, like, that destroys their whole argument about us being, this evil people that we're trying to censor everybody. They're the ones censoring, it's just so crazy to me. And I'm glad what you do, Adam, because we need more of that. Just FYI.
The one thing I did mention recently on my channel is I remember back in 2020 when I was newly a Trump supporter, and I understand that it was an election year, so I get that. But I remember whenever there would be these like BLM protests or pro-vaccine protests, which that was a thing back then, we always had counter protesters wearing Trump shirts, MAGA hats, American flags, Trump flags. We were always there in large numbers. If there were 50 of them, there might have been 30 of us.
Yep.
And that led to a lot of very funny viral interactions back in 2020. Some street skirmishes between the groups, whatever. I don't know where that energy's gone, because whenever I go to these protests, there's no counter protesters, meaning MAGA. The only ones that are there are the journalists like me or Caitlin Bennett or Savannah Craven or Patriotic Batty, right? Where is MAGA at these protests?
Well,
why aren't we out there?
Well, here's the thing, Adam, and this is probably going to be very, very controversial what I'm about to say, but I don't care. I'm at the point where screw it, But we need more paid protesters on the right, because
we don't have it.
Yeah, we don't have it. And the thing is, a lot of the MAGA supporters, we got real jobs, man. We're working. And, right now we won already. So we feel complacent to be like, know what? We don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to be protesting this and that. But, and this is what I'm saying, to hope it goes to the GOP, we need to play dirty like the Democrats until they say that that's not good. Then we need to level the playing field. I'm okay with, if they're paying protesters to do that, I'm okay with them paying you being out there, or paying whoever wants to be out there for MAGA. Might as well. I mean, they're playing dirty. I mean, I'm just saying that. I know it's not a favorable opinion, and I don't agree with it either. But I mean, they're playing. We're playing a game, and they're not playing the same game. Is what I'm trying to
Well,
say.
you had a good word there, complacent. We're
Yep.
acting complacent, but let me tell you why it's important. Yes, we won the 2024 election, but that's the past. And politics is a game of planning for the future. Whoever plans for the future first and has the longest head start is usually going to have a better outcome. I'm trying to think what I was going to say. Yes. So the reason why it's important that we go out there is for this main reason, controlling the narrative. And I'll give you an example. When I went to the protest with the megaphone, the viral protest, there were probably 100 protesters on the other side. It was their protest. It wasn't our protest. We were there to just capture journalism and counter their narrative. When the Tampa Bay Times, which is a local newspaper down here in Tampa, published published an article about their protest, do you know what the main headline image they used was? It was an image of me, Never Woke, Freedom and Whiskey, Caitlin Bennett, and our friend Don holding up the signs of the woman killed by illegals. It wasn't a picture of the protesters with their F ICE signs. So the reason why that's important is because we were able to be on the homepage of their protest coverage. We dominated the narrative, not them.
And you guys were just a few, but see, that lets you know that, and that's what we were talking earlier, is that the discussion, um eh, the discussion
Hey,
about,
sit down.
they're okay, that we are a big fan of those puppies, you know.
They're
But
good dogs, but not when I'm on a podcast.
yeah. Hey, they just want daddy's attention, that's it, man, you know.
Yeah, that's
They're
all
just
they
like,
want.
that's all they want. But
Yeah.
we were just talking that, yeah, they seem to be the majority. But the fact of the matter is that we are the majority. The ones that we think the way we do are the majority. They just have a louder microphone. That's it. But
Well, they have a lot of microphone and they have paid protesters.
yep,
You
paid
know, when
protesters.
what one thing I find interesting about what we do as, I guess, MAGA journalists, if you want to call us that, they don't really have the equal journalists on their side at these events. Like they don't have a Democrat liberal YouTuber with 1 million subscribers at their
Yep.
events to
Yep.
amplify their message or to try to make us look foolish. And I think the reason why is because in general, and again, just speaking in general, of course, there are some Republicans when they get on camera, they might not look like they know what they're talking about sometimes, right? That happens on all sides. I think it happens more on the Democrat side because they end up defending insane things. They end up defending things that to the average American is like, that sounds nuts. For example, transgender surgeries on minors. The Republican Party is pretty firm, like, probably shouldn't do that to kids. And most Americans agree with that, right? But the Democrats, they can't go on a show and say that because if they do, they're going against the narrative of their own party. So it ends up putting them in really awkward spots that we get to, amplify on our platforms, but they don't have the equivalent on their side because most Republicans don't look foolish because we don't stand for ridiculous things. We stand for common sense things. For example, controlling the border is a common sense principle. Not killing innocent unborn babies, common sense principle. Not transing the kids or allowing them to have surgery or cross hormones, common sense. So everything that we stand for the most part, is common sense. So you can't really get us like we can get them.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Adam, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You have been in many protests. What are the main traits that have you seen how they operate? Because everybody knows they are paid protesters. But what do you see on the ground as far as the organization pertain? Because they seem to be organized, and it needs to be. It seems they're very organized. Can you tell me more about what do you see on the ground when they are protesting?
Yeah. So almost every protest across Florida has organizers.
Mm.
These are people that wear different colored vests. We've seen yellow vests. We've seen orange vests. We've seen pink vests. The pink vest just happened in Fernandina Beach this weekend. So that shows that there's some level of organization or managers overlooking what's going on. We also see similar signs across the country. So ice out, you'll see the same printed signs on the same wooden sticks. So someone in a centralized location is sending out these graphics, and they're likely printing them all across the country in different cities. So we see organizers, we see protest signs. We also, the interesting thing is, the protests typically end at the same exact time on the dot. So, for example, today we attended a protest. The permit of the protest was to go until 5 p.m. But at 3:45, one of the organizers got on the microphone and said, "All right, everybody, the protest is over." And just like this, within about 2 minutes, the
Really?
grounds were empty. They
See,
had the permit till 5 o'clock. And what I find funny is if a person was really, if they really believed that they were standing against the Gestapo, if they really believed that they were fighting against fascism or fighting against Nazis, wouldn't you stick around at least to the end of the protest? Wouldn't there be a few stragglers that are like, even though you guys are leaving, I'm going to stay because it's important that I make my voice heard?
Right.
No.
yeah.
As soon as the organizer said, close up shop, guys, everybody left. It was so shocking to
just
me.
just like a person that hates working at McDonald's. Hey, your time's up. I'm going home.
They
Just like
clock
that.
out,
They're
then
That's
leave.
clocking out.
exactly what it's like. Because people don't understand, like when I do my street interviews, I'm doing it on my own time.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I believe in the message. I'm not getting paid. If I was getting paid, I'd be out 7 days a week doing it, right? I would just clean up. But I do it a couple days a week when I feel physically capable. Obviously, it's better now that I have a transplant, but I'm doing it. No one's paying me. Now, maybe I'll have a video go viral. Maybe.
Yeah.
And if it's on a monetized platform, then maybe I'll make a little bit of money. But a lot of times, my videos that go viral on TikTok, I'm not monetized there. My videos go viral on Instagram, I'm not monetized there. My video on X, I am monetized, but X doesn't really, it doesn't pay that well yet. At least
Mhm.
not for me. I haven't had that experience. So really, I have two platforms to monetize on, YouTube and Facebook. So if I go viral on those two platforms, okay, I make a little bit of money, but that money is based on my effort and my ability to hack the algorithm or my ability to capture a really viral moment.
And
It's not
then
based on
also
a paycheck. It's
the
not based on a
editing.
paycheck.
Yeah. No, look, so Nora is in Minnesota, Minneapolis, or close to Minneapolis. And look what she put. She put the pink vest is seen in Minnesota. We saw two groups, right? And then here she put when you were talking about that, yes, the same thing happened there today. And then she put this. She goes, I saw it happen on my lunch break. So they were taking lunch too. So it's just like,
They're just
man, I
getting
mean,
paid. They,
yeah, they're
they,
getting
I
paid.
think like they getting a 7, and by 3:45, like you were mentioned, 4 o'clock, between 7 or 8 in the morning until 4 o'clock, and they leave, and that's crazy. And man, we need to find out like who is paying these people because they are disturbing the peace. Honestly,
NGOs,
Well,
NGOs.
when I was at the Tampa protest, the St. Pete one with the megaphone, I wasn't even thinking in the moment, but as I was walking to the protest, there was a guy leaving. And I was like, "Oh, are you leaving already?" And he goes, "No, lunch break." That's exactly what he said. Because we
wow.
were undercover. We were undercover as if we were on their side. And
Mm,
I didn't even put two and two together when he said lunch break.
We're on a lunch break, bro.
Normal people don't go lunch break. Like if I'm doing a video on
What
the
we eating
street,
there?
if I'm
Go,
doing a
you
video,
know?
yeah, if I'm doing a video on the street and I'm gonna get food and some Stasi, where you headed? I don't go lunch break. It's not a lunch break.
Exactly.
I'm just going to get food. But he used the word lunch break. I think it's in my video. And that's a word that someone uses who's on the clock.
Yep.
This is
yeah.
my hour off. I'm not getting paid. I'm on my lunch break. So now I'm like thinking, but as far as how they get paid, all I remember is in 2020, we would see at around 5, 6 o'clock on the dot, there'd be a guy that would show up at these protests in a suit. He would show up in a suit. I remember seeing this in Orlando at a protest, and he would hand out little manila envelopes, like small manila colored little envelopes, to all the people that get in a circle around him. He'd hand the envelopes on the dot, and then everyone would leave. And I was like, I wonder what's in those envelopes. We saw it with our own eyes, and it was clearly cash. It was clearly paychecks. So this has been going on for probably multiple election cycles, if not longer.
Man.
And I've never heard of it on the right side. I've never seen it on the right side. I think we do a really, the one thing I will say, the Republicans in general, like the MAGA content creators, we do a really good job of social media. I think we do a really good job there. That's one thing that I could say, that we have pretty good grasp of how to amplify and make things go viral and get the message out. So I'm proud of us for that. But what I'm not proud of us right now is our ground game, the organic ground game, going to protests. That's been weak and lacking. So we need Republicans across the country to start. And I'll tell you this, a lot of people always ask me, how do I find out about protests? The first way is word of mouth. The second way is a lot of these groups have social media pages. You just have to find out the name of them in your area. And the third way is there's websites like indivisible.org where they announce the protests publicly. So anybody can find this research in their city. And it really is important that if what you're seeing in this country should be defended, like ICE, or if what you're seeing in the country needs to be condemned, like surgery for minors,
Yep.
then you need to be there and you need to push back, and you can't let these people have free reign of the streets, because this emboldens them to then say things like, whose streets are streets, whose streets are streets. No, it's not your streets. It's also our streets too. And if we're not there, then we can't push back. And I think we need to be there.
And you know, I do agree with you. We should be there, and a lot of it. And you know, I'm just speaking from my end. I didn't know how to know when there's protests. Every time I'm driving home, I'm like, oh, they're protesting there, you know, and I'm either like too late by that time. But I think what's going on is that a lot of us, and I hate to say it, a lot of us on the right, which is the truth, we have real careers and real jobs,
I know.
and we have families. So we, and like I use that word because that is true. We're complacent because we're like, we won, we got Trump in the we keep winning. But then I agree with you, like the midterms are coming up, and there are so many people that are in the middle. They can't pick a side. You know, they'll be like, well, you know, it's okay. I don't feel they're too, you're Republicans. I don't want to be too red or too blue. And, you know, and they see these things like what happened with Minnesota, and the narrative is controlled. And oh my gosh, they killed that innocent woman. And they just seriously just did not see the whole fact that she rammed the car into that guy, regardless if she just bumped him, but she drove the
Well,
car towards him. And
she only, yeah, she only bumped him because he moved.
Yeah, but
If he didn't move, he was getting run over.
Yep,
Mhm.
exactly. And the thing is, then people are not noticing that there was a lot of, I think this was his second somebody
Correct.
actually ran over him the first time before. This is the
Yep.
second time. So he was paranoid already. All of them were, because there's so many events of people crashing their car to ICE agent cars across the nation. So come on, guys. I mean, it's just plain and simple that the lady did something that was criminal, and she gave deadly force by driving the car that way and not complying to a federal agent's order. So again, these people are so easy manipulated, because they're like, oh my gosh, poor lady, and now I'm gonna vote left because they're
Yep.
just so flimsy. And this is why I think the midterms and what you do is very important. And I agree with you, we should be not complacent, because we can lose it.
So the two things I want to say, you're right. Republicans tend to have jobs. So my counter to that, to the Republicans watching, would be, number one, there's protests on the weekends. Go to those.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
my counter to point number two is, most of these protests during the week are boomers. It's older people.
Okay.
And Republicans that are older are probably also retired. So for those Republicans who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s now, and some of them probably protested Vietnam, right? They were around for
Yeah.
Vietnam. Go put on your Vietnam protest shoes. Go relive your glory days when you were protesting the Vietnam War, because that's what they're bringing out on their side. And go out there with your camera, get footage, push back on the narrative peacefully and patriotically, of course, right? We want to do things peacefully. And if you don't have the platform, contact a creator that does have the platform and say, can you push this clip out there? Right? If the content is good, or the clip is good, and the audio is good, there's a lot of creators that can make a clip go viral.
Yeah.
You know, one person on X that comes to mind is there's an account, I meme, therefore I am. I don't know if you're familiar with that. She's got, I don't know, almost 1 million subscribers. She's always amplifying content. I don't believe she actually goes to the protest and goes out there, but when she gets good viral footage, she pushes it out and gets a lot of views. So even if you're a 60-year-old boomer with no Facebook account, you have an iPhone, most likely. You have a Samsung, film content, send it to one of the creators on X. We can amplify those messages for you. The second thing I'll say is to anybody in the middle, what I did back in 2020 when I was deciding which way I was going to go, Democrat or Republican, because remember, I was a Democrat for a
Yeah.
long time. So what happened is I said, you know what? I'm going to go to a Trump rally. I'm going to go to a Biden rally because I want to compare and contrast. Well, I got to go to the Trump rally in March of 2020, which was in Charlotte. It was the last indoor rally before COVID shut the country down. However, there was never a Biden rally because, as you know, COVID shut the country down and just Biden never had a rally. So I never had a chance to experience a Biden rally. I only got to experience a Trump rally, and I felt so loved and welcomed. And I saw how much diversity was in the crowd on the Trump side. And that literally was like, all right, I'm all in on Trump. It was that one experience. So for anybody watching that's in the middle, um, go to a Trump event where it's pro-Trumpers or MAGA, and go to a Democrat protest. Talk to the people. See who makes a better point. See who sounds like they have more common sense. See who knows what they're talking about more, and then make your decision if you're stuck in the middle. Because that's what I did. And look at me now. I'm in a
There you
MAGA
go.
hat. I'm in a MAGA hat, you know, in a lot of my videos. And I'm very proud to be a Republican now.
And you're a very very important piece in the chess game. I will say that, and we're very fortunate that you you like the party because the same thing with me. I basically went to a Democratic convention once, and because I was in the middle too, but yeah, you know, I started leaning that more of my values were in the right, and but man, uh, so there's protests on the weekends. You just killed, you know, you just killed. Like, what excuse do I have now? You know?
I know.
I mean, you guys are content creators, right?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, for sure.
So think about how much content you can get. And let me tell you something. Podcast clips, if you can get a fire clip, sometimes they go viral. If someone drops like a really good, you know, some like really good segments or sentences, you can go viral with that. But it's much easier to go viral with a crazy protest clip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's just street interviews right now are like the golden currency of social media because people want to see people, right? They want to see those interactions, those organic interactions. They want to see people getting trolled. They want to see people melting down. They want to see people looking silly. They want to see someone get cooked. So that's kind of where the currency is today is street
and
interviews.
and I think the reason why we want to see that, because I'm also one of them people, is because for years we've been losing. We've been losing. We've been, you know, we've been called all the names. You know, like you know, we're fascists, we're Nazis, and all this stuff, deplorables. You know, it almost seems like Hollywood back in 2015 made us feel like we were just bad people. And for
Yeah.
people like you that debate them, they're silly, ridiculous ideas, and then you make them look stupid. It's like, yes, it's like you finally got a punch in, you know, like, yeah, the good guy finally did something, you know, and
And
it's
I'll say this though, the reason why we have an advantage over the mainstream media is the mainstream media journalists. We all know that they're hacks. CNN has an agenda. Everyone has it. And we all know that. So these interviewers, they can't really like the content they're getting is often very dry sound bites, right? Because the journalist for CNN is not trying to like get anybody most of the time. But we can as street interviewers, as street journalists. Our content is so much spicier. It's so much raw. You see people melt down, rage, curse, and you can't see that stuff in the mainstream news. You really only could see those kind of interviews with independent content creators. And I just want to say I am so one of the best moments of our lives, which doesn't get spoken about enough, was Elon Musk buying X,
yeah,
because not only did
yeah.
that restore 99% free speech. I'll say that it's not a perfect platform, right? Because there is some still things that get caught up and whatever. But the fact that he made it his mission, it forced Facebook to reevaluate, their community with the way that they do moderation, it forced even YouTube to start loosening up and going, we have to not over moderate. And so it just changed the entire ecosystem, and it just allows us to express ourselves better, more freely. And what Elon did, I mean, if he was not a right winger, this should have gotten him the Nobel Peace Prize, the
For
ability to
sure.
have free speech. And now look at what's happening around the world with Venezuela. He gave Venezuelans around the world a voice to speak up for the Venezuelan people in Venezuela that still can't. He gave the voice to the people in Iran, the ones that have access. And if they don't have it, because I don't know enough about Iran, I know people around the world that are Iranian, the diaspora, right? They get to speak up on behalf of the Iranian people in Iran. And a lot of this is because of Elon Musk and X.
Yep.
So it's like,
Starlink. Yep.
That's true though.
yeah, Starlink too. Nobel Peace Prize for Elon Musk, because that's been one of the biggest shifts that we've had in the last
But
uh, maybe our lifetimes.
But you know what? The Nobel Peace Prize, or the, I can't even say it right now, but that lost credibility in my opinion.
Because Trump never
There
got
was,
it.
yeah, the right people that needs to get it didn't get it. So
Yeah,
it
Adam.
just,
Before we let you go, I know you're driving. I want to do your reaction on this video that I made today. It's very short. It's 9 seconds. It is more than a meme than a video, but I want your reaction.
look at the baby's face.
Baby face is just like,
That's awesome.
I know, man. I made that this morning, and I'm still laughing every time I seen it. It just this type of memes. It just like it cracks me up. But Adam,
Oh, babies are a good meme hack. People love
yeah,
to see babies doing funny reactions. So that is a good meme.
that's a it's gold. But Adam, thank you so much. I really appreciate. You can follow Adam. Everything will be in the description down below. I already posted there. You can find him on Facebook, X, and also on YouTube. He have a huge following, and please just give him a like and subscribe. While you at it, Adam, thank you so much, brother. Safe trips, and we see you probably sometime next week, man. We are planning to fly into Florida, but we need to coordinate with you to get on
Yeah.
one of those rallies in Florida. So I would like to get him into one of those, be my first one. I want to pop the cherry with you just to follow around and see how you do business because it's going to be crazy. My first
Yeah,
time there.
I'm really excited for 2028. And I'm really excited for 2026 midterms. So should
Oh
be a
yeah.
good year for all of us. And thanks again for having me, guys.
All
Yeah,
right.
thanks for
Hey,
coming.
be
All
safe.
right, guys.
Take care. And I'll see you very soon, brother. Take care.
And as always, God bless Trump.
All
God bless
right.
Trump.
See you guys.
So there you have it, man. Adam Francisco, our good friend. Man, he's always showing up, man. He always rising up to the occasion, man. He was
He's
driving his day.
he's he's true to the cause,
He's
and
true, man.
something he said resonated with me. He is right. We should hit the streets at least,
Shit.
at least one time or
I
few
know.
times, just because
We
um
should do it in Houston. Like they got protests, but sometimes when I find out about it, I'm just like
it's
you.
too
When I
late.
find
Yeah,
out, it's too late. I'm just like, let's say it is Saturday, right? And I heard over the radio, oh, it's a protest going on right now in downtown Houston, and when I look at my time, it's like, man, they already started like 3 hours ago. So when I get there, it's already cold. Everybody's leaving, or the climax is already passed. You know what I mean? So I missed the moment. So I will keep my eye on just in case I catch one before it starts, so I can go there because as we got equipment to go and
I
record. It's
know.
not it's not that hard to
It's
go
not
and
easy
record.
to it's just not easy to get on the car and go, we
You
gotta
know, we got family.
coordinate.
Sometimes we got on the weekends. It's the time for us just to relax a little bit. But anyway, we need to get back into it. Anyway, before we move ahead. Let's go show this video about Greg Bovino talking about the latest and greatest news on the ICE raids happening in Minneapolis. Take a look.
We've arrested some of the most dangerous criminal offenders operating in Minnesota. In the entire state of Minnesota, we have arrested some of the most violent criminal offenders right here in this city. These are not minor violators or minor garden variety criminals. These are repeat offenders with serious criminal histories. Murderers, rapists, gang members, they're not the people we want in our community. This is what public safety looks like when the law is enforced consistently and professionally. We will continue enforcing the law. We will continue making arrests, and we will continue working to keep Minneapolis safe. The mission continues at the border and in the interior, because that effective enforcement depends on both occurring at the same time.
And let me show you. Let me show you one real clip. It's the same video, but this is the people that. Okay, just real quick. So remember, we were talking yesterday that Tim Holman said in the beginning. He said, "Give me the criminals that were in the jail and the police custody, and I won't go door to door."
Right.
Well, they had these criminals in custody and they released. And look at what their charges are, which is so crazy. Wasn't this one? Here we go. Is this one? Here we go.
Authorities, agencies like the United States Border Patrol, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and many other allied law enforcement agencies, FBI, DEA, ATF, and many others have came together under this operation, under this umbrella. We share intelligence and execute operations in a unified manner. That coordination is essential to effective enforcement and public safety. Since the start of this operation, we have arrested some of the most dangerous criminal offenders operating in Minnesota. In the entire state of Minnesota, we have arrested some of the most violent criminal offenders right here in this city. These are not minor violators or minor garden variety criminals. These are repeat offenders with serious criminal histories. Now, folks, before I came here today, I printed out a few individuals that I'd like to share with you. Individuals that were arrested since yesterday. These 3 individuals were arrested just since yesterday. Keep in mind now, these individuals were walking the streets of Minneapolis with impunity as of yesterday. We've got Hovai Kumaye, a legal alien from Laos.
Oh no, the internet's messing up. Dang it! And just when it gets to the good part, hold on, let's see.
Including fondling and
so basically, my internet failed you, but
they caught a few sex offenders, and there were quite a few.
It had
at least 5 or 6.
Picture of these guys. There was a bunch of them, and all child molesters.
I know Donald Trump showed their faces too in a press conference today, and that was very, very, very telling of how many people are basically. People need to understand this.
Yep.
When you have sanctuary cities, sanctuary states, most likely you're going to have criminals hiding in those states. I'm not saying 100% of the criminals are going to the states. Every state has criminals, but most likely they're going to use that as a shield to hide behind those policies, because they're not laws, policies.
Yep.
To do their bad deeds. So be careful what you're wishing for, because all these blue cities and blue states, they love to defund the police. They love to defund ICE. They love to take away law and order. But at the same time, you multiplying lawlessness and shenanigans. And then the people that actually want law and order on those cities are the one that pay the price. You call the police, they show up like the next day. You get robbed, they probably never showed up because there are no police. There are 2 too busy, or they have no nothing. They have no police cars because they are like four working and they are spread out throughout the city. And the response time is like 2 hours. So it is insane, man. These people need to fucking get their head out of their butt
Yep.
and start working for the people because it's happening in Chicago. It's happening in Minnesota. They just love to tax people. That's what the left do.
Yep.
Tax people to the oblivion, and people are getting tired. I see it in Chicago. People wants to be free of that crazy Mayor Johnson just taxing. That's what he does. Tax, tax, tax. And he came in with the policy of I'm going to lower tax. Not even 2 weeks in, raise the tax. And he tried to do it again a couple months ago. And people are tired. People are fed up with this type of rhetoric. I mean, not every blue state is 100% on board with the left ideology. You have people that actually live there. They are conservative or Republican, and most likely they're if they have the money, the capacity, the financial capacity to move, they move, they leave,
Yeah.
they leave the states, and people need to understand that, man. It's gonna be like I I calling for national divorce, man. Like if you're on the left, go to those cities or those states and make it 100% blue and we swap them one for one. So you send me one conservative, I will send you one Democrat. We do swap. I don't want
Yeah.
them because they ruin. And then we have people coming from Chicago. You got people coming from New York. They're escaping those high taxes. They come over here to Texas and they start voting again.
Yeah,
Democrat.
because
I'm like,
because our Democrats are their Republicans, you know?
I know that's crazy. But anyway, let me show you Donald Trump comments on Elon Omar today at the press conference.
I always hate to see this. Ilan Omar, she comes from Somalia, a backward country, probably the worst country. They say it's the worst country in the world, if it's a country. I don't even think it's a country. There's no organization, no anything. They don't have police, they don't have military, they don't have anything. They just have people running around killing each other and trying to pirate ships. But she'll come here, comes, and then she wants to tell us how to run our country. The Constitution says that I am entitled to this. I can't stand her.
Yeah. I can't either.
Yeah,
I
POTUS,
can't
man. He
stand
don't
her.
play games, man. I like Donald Trump. If I ever want something in life, like right now, besides take care of my family and everything, they'd be like, "What do you wish the most?" I'm like, just 20 seconds with Donald Trump, just to change word. That would be the highlight of my year. I would not say my entire life because more things are coming ahead, but for that moment, that would be my highlight. You know what I mean? So it would
Yeah,
be.
it would be funny. I heard he's got a really good sense of humor,
I know
and
his
I
aura, man. He's like everything he touched, man. It turns into gold, man. Like he's that good. But anyway, let us know what you think down below. What do you think about these paid protesters going to near cities, to the cities near you? And just like they are so organized, like they popped up everywhere with signs, word, well done signs, and they just working from 8 to like 3:40 in the afternoon. And they get paid either in person or they get paid via electronically. But it seems weird, as soon as they show up around one specific time, they everybody disappeared. I mean, it's weird. Let me know your thoughts down below. Robert, anything you have to say before we leave?
well, yeah. Let us know if you think the Republican Party, the GOP, should play the same dirty tactics as the Democrats, or maybe we just because we're not doing anything about it legally. So that's my opinion. But so Nora says, uh, I want to punch them, get my frustration out. Well, guys,
Wait.
uh, Yeah,
Was the X-ray? Do you see which? Oh yes.
there's a nurse that wishing harm for the pregnant of Caroline
Oh,
Levitt. Also,
yeah.
the VP is having the fourth baby.
Yep. Hey, hey, that's my BP right there, man. Hey, he taking care of business.
Yes, sir. Hey,
He,
that Erica Kirk thing, he had to make amends for that, you know.
no, he's crazy.
But
Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for your visit in our chat today, man. We have a great time with Ada Francisco, with people in the chat. Thank you so much. We're gonna show that video. Let me see if I can find the video now of that lady talking smack to Caroline Levitt, and I think I got it right here. Let's see if I can bring it up.
yeah, and you know
It
it's
is crazy
crazy.
interaction, man.
Yeah,
Like why people wishing that type of stuff to other people? Like why are they doing this? Like what are they getting out of that? Like it makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? It's the same thing when happened with Biden. Biden, we knew everybody knew Biden was sick, and nobody were
wish
wishing bad
harm.
on
Yeah,
him. You know, people were praying. People were like, you know what? Even though we don't like him as a president, but he's a human being, and we wish him the best. We wish him just to, you know, be better and get better in health. But when Charlie Kirk didn't happen, man, the left were celebrating. They were celebrating. They were doing mockery out of Charlie Kirk. Man, the left have no feelings, man. They're just full of a rage and hatred. But check this video out. Thank you for the subscriber that sent me this video. I saw it earlier, but this is crazy. Just take a look at the video. Let me see if I can. It is showing. Let me see which camera is showing. Hold on. There we go. There we go.
My wish for Caroline Levitt. She is pregnant with a baby girl, and I truly do hope that baby is so healthy. I hope she's healthy and headstrong. So headstrong, in fact, that as she is emerging into this world through Caroline's geriatric tech garage, that she tears her from bow to fucking stern. Grade 4 tear. Like so big that when she gets out of the shower naked and walks across the room, like she accidentally picks up dog toys. Yeah,
Wow.
that's my wish for you, Caroline.
man, she looks psychotic, man.
That's what that's the left does to people. They turn them into a normal person, into a deranged, crazy, psychotic lunatics. That's how they turn out to be. You know what I mean? They just like they're just crazy. Crazy. We got Tanks right here. Oh, thank you for another cool ass episode. Thank you, Nora. Really appreciate it. What Gabby says right here, spreading hate. Obviously, she's spreading
Yep.
hate. He's creating. I mean, that is crazy. That nurse has 30 years of experience as a nurse, and that's what's bothered me. We have people on the left. They are actually deranged and sick in their minds, taking care of other people's health, and that is very concerning to me. And I'm kind of like, I hope I don't get sick enough so I don't have to go to the hospital and bump into these people, because if they find out I'm a Trump supporter and they are not, I might not make it out of there alive. You know what I mean? I might make it out of there without one finger, and they just put some crazy note so I can get unwanted unwanted procedures that I don't want to be done, like
Oh man.
exchange or something. I mean, they probably do that to me.
Oh no, like that one video guy when he's being on anesthesia and they're
Yeah,
like sex change. He's like, no, I'm here for weight loss.
I know
Oh man, that was funny.
that
But
that is crazy. But anyway, Robert, thank you so much. Let me read the last verse of the evening before I go. Let me see right here. This is the one. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. Romans 12:12. Man, this is amazing to close out this episode. So be with us tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully, we have another guest tomorrow evening. We don't know yet. We probably find out in the middle of the day. But anyway, stay tuned. We always posting. We always keeping you informed of what's going on and giving you the facts as it is. No drama. Sometimes we do bring drama a little bit, but not too much. But anyway, Robert, thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. For you in the chat, Nora, Gabby, and the others, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless anyone, everyone. So to closing, make sure you share this video, like and subscribe. Don't forget about that because we are getting out of the shadows slowly but surely. We're growing. We're almost at 7,000 on Facebook. If you're on Facebook right now, please don't forget to
Help
hit
us
that
to
like button
achieve
for you.
10K.
Yeah, we are looking for 10K next month. So we are on the road. We're getting more and more subscribers every day, which is amazing. So finally, I feel like we're getting out of that.
And if you're
Challenge.
on X, if you guys could give us, follow us, um, comment, get in the comments, let us know what you think,
Yep.
and help us grow this channel, guys.
We appreciate your companion tonight. So anyway, God bless America. God bless our troops. And